It's time.
Crazy talk.
All right, here we go.
The Cocktail Show.
Get ready to have a good time.
Let's have a good time.
This is exciting, isn't
Ooh, I like that.
Hello, testing.
Welcome aboard the Dreamliner.
It's the only way to fly.
I've allotted 1 hour for recreational activity. There's no time for irrelevant conversation. Fun will now commence.
Cocktail Show.
Gary.
Here's a young speaker who is really in demand.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary.
But wait, there's more.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's Gary Meier.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Garry Meier Show, Cocktail Hour, live.
Cocktails. Woo, drinks.
It's Friday, July 21st, 2023.
We're streaming live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
That's just 3 weeks until my neighbors at the Walt Disney World Resort start celebrating Halloween, and just over 22 weeks until Christmas and Kwanzaa. Have we mentioned it's 5 o'clock somewhere yet? Now, of course, no matter where you are, it's time for a digital mimosa.
Yoga.
Thanks for streaming along with the show.
The best way to watch this show is the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
YouTube. Subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs. It's a good thing.
Please like and share the show on all the social media channels.
Comments during the live show, wherever we are streaming, can be seen in our virtual studio.
And we may show them on the screen
and or talk about them.
And that's it.
Now, fasten your seatbelts. It's time to go wheels up on the GarrForce Live.
Live.
I don't care who sees me naked. Here we go. I'm not the smartest guy on the planet, but I can figure a few things out on America's podcast. Boom. Shakalaka.
Hey, welcome to the Cocktail Show. Yeah, here we are. I'm Gary Miller, your host. And boy, I need a drink. How about you? Good, because we're going to have them. And that all starts in just a few seconds here. We have several cycles that happen on the GarrForce. The 4 cycles of a jet engine: suck, squeeze, bang, blow. The cycles of the GarrForce: we kick the tires, we light the fires. There they go. Thank you, Alan. And then one more cycle, and that's Leslie removing her condom. Hello.
Did I just see that Gary Miller is the employee of the month? Was that?
I think so.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
so.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, I made it.
Several months in a row now. Yep.
Wow.
Woo.
I am going to pop the wine condom on a bottle of Cooper's Hawk Unoaked Chardonnay, a gift from our friends, the Sheridans. Oh, yes, Sheridans. And they stopped by and also brought me some flowers and a beautiful gift bag. So here we go, kids.
All right, here it goes. And usually if it's peppy, it will shoot.
It went.
It got a little, yeah, you got a little bit out of it. That's good enough. We're starting with
Once
that.
again, I reuse condoms, which I think, according to the FDA, is not the right way to handle condoms, wine, and otherwise. But well.
Oh, hell with them. What do they know? Okay, this is a commando show. No guest, but in the next couple of weeks, we're going back to some guests. Next Friday, the restaurant czar Rich Melman will be my guest to talk about his incredible success over the past 50 plus years. And then in 2 weeks, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, John Gray, will be on the program. And that book that came out 30 some years ago, if you remember, massive seller. And to this day, it's still selling. He's got many more books under his belt, and very interesting man. And he's going to talk about how the genders can get along. If you find that interesting, I
there's
think you
a
will.
lot of gender talk these days, and that should be interesting.
A spoiler alert: he's anti-ejaculation. I'm just saying, just so you know. Get ready.
In general?
Well, he'll explain in a couple weeks.
Okay.
All right. Say that'll limit the population.
Exactly.
Well, use it wisely, he says, and he'll explain what he means by that. So
he
that's
didn't like sleeping in the wet spot. I know how that goes. Never mind.
Whoa. And yeah, he knows. He studied this stuff. Speaking of things going on in our culture, the big openings this weekend of two movies that people, I think, are going to be lining up to see. And I am drawn to the theater with Oppenheimer. I haven't been inside a theater in 4 years. I think Oppenheimer is going to bring me out and put me in a seat. And they say the only way to watch this movie is on the biggest screen you can see it on, because it is epic. Well, have you read the reviews of this movie? It is getting, I mean, people are breathless in their reviews. This movie is just rolling over everybody that has seen it. And it is a classic already. This is its first opening weekend. And then Barbie on the other side of the spectrum is opening. And Lloydster, listener Lloydster, is saying that because people are going to go and see Barbie and Oppenheimer, they're calling it a Barbenheimer weekend.
Right. There's like these parallel universes, and they've collided, and somehow, yeah, it's going to be a Barbenheimer situation.
Yes, you've got this doll that comes to life, and then a guy who, I don't know how a man can sit there and figure out, if you connect these two wires, you can kill 100,000 people at a shot and have a big mushroom cloud and a whole bunch of destruction. Well, and that's what he came up with. And he regretted it.
Well, absolutely. But
what do you think he was trying to invent? It's not one of those things where I thought I was inventing a new way to kill bugs, and I got the atom bomb. I guess I got to see the movie. It's over 3 hours long, by the way. So not that matters to me. I know people do, well, it's 3 hours. They always talk about how long a movie is. I don't care how long it is if it's good.
Well, on top of that, the big thing is that there is no CG used in this. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they were making what Oppenheimer thought he was making, and that's little atom bomb explosions. Like, did they do it in the back lot of Universal Studios? I don't know quite how they were able to do this, but the other big spoiler is that there's supposed to be some super sexy sex going on, and we're talking Cillian Murphy and what's her name, Florence Pugh, who are some pretty darn good looking humans. So if you're gonna see humans getting sexy, this seems like the way to do it.
I guess it's pretty graphic, right?
That's what they're saying. Oh, speaking of which, our friend Doggy Boy Matt stopped by and brought me this T-shirt, and it says, "The human body is so much prettier when it's properly lit and covered." But from what I gather, there's very little covering and some really good lighting going on in Oppenheimer as well. So.
Well, imagine you're having carnal knowledge with a guy who invented the atom bomb. That's got to be kind of special, I'm thinking.
Well,
hey, baby.
Conversely, we're talking about Barbie, and neither one of them have genitalia. So that should be interesting too. So isn't that
interesting times, as they say? So that's going on at the theaters this weekend. And Tony Bennett died. What was it, yesterday? Today? Whatever.
Sometime between last night and today, yeah.
Okay, I only have one Tony Bennett story, and it's a little unusual in that, okay, a friend of mine would have big musical acts come in for his private client parties at small theaters. And several years ago, he brought Tony Bennett in to entertain his clients, and he had it at this small theater. And my wife and I are sitting there, intimate, very intimate, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, two guys next to us start beating the shit out of each other, arguing about a seat or something. And I'm thinking of all the concerts I've been to, and I had been at that point to a lot of concerts. Never did I see any fisticuffs until I go to see Tony Bennett.
Of all the, I mean, you actually did the introductions on major rock bands as a DJ, didn't you? Weren't you the one? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you on behalf of
My favorite one is I go to see Ringo and his all-star band, and I was backstage. I know, mic drop or whatever that would be, because Joe Walsh was in the band, and I wanted to go and say hello to Joe. He was a friend of the show's and mine, and da-da-da. And so I'm standing there, and I had a few pops, and I'm feeling good. And I say hello to Joe, and then a few minutes later, he comes up to me. Hey, I think I did you a favor. And what? I got you to introduce us. And now I'm like, oh. And then 30 seconds later, I turn and Ringo is standing 4 feet from me. And that's a Beatle. And I got introduced.
And obviously, it's not like you're playing Toastmaster, but I know how your mind works. And I'm pretty sure you would have prepared a little something.
Oh, God, yes. I can't just go throw anything out there. So I said, I think I remember this correctly. I got out there and I said, I think I know how Ed Sullivan felt many years ago right now.
Oh, very
Ringo
good.
Starr and the All-Stars, something like that. Anyway.
Keep it simple. They're not there to see you.
Yeah. Be careful of going too far out of your zone there. And I had, like I said, a few pops and I was, Now, speaking of Tony Bennett, I hope David Muir on his little news show does the first 8 minutes on Tony Bennett like he did for Tina Turner.
Breaking news. Yes.
Do you think they will? We're going to be on while David is on, so I won't see it. But I want equal time for Tony and Tina's funerals. All right?
Oh, wasn't that a production in Chicago where you got free dinner and a show?
That's
Tony
one
and
of those
Tina's
interactive
funeral
plays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ever been to those? Oh, boy, they're awkward.
No, because that's the whole thing. Anytime people end up in the aisles, even like the end of Mamma Mia, where we're all supposed to stand up and dance. It's I don't know if I want to play
I bought a seat. I want to use it. Let me go to the screen door, and this always is problematic, as you probably know if you've seen the show more than once. But I'm looking. It's a mirror thing. Did I have it?
But it's kind of not. It's. I could see you turning it this way, but well, because this came up. The Sheridans stopped by, Brian and Sandy. We had a lovely afternoon, and they were questioning whether. Does he really get that confused?
All right, now I feel like a total idiot. Okay, it happens. That's why Alan made the graphic, and now I'm good. I hit it on the first time.
You're very good.
Lamont, hello to all.
Gary, you want to go with Keely Ann's?
Oh, yes. First out. My Schnauzer only accepts twisters of EF2 and higher. Okay, good call, KA, because we were talking about this so-called twister or twisters that hit the Chicago area last week.
11 of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. They came out and said they were EF zeros. That's not a twister then. That's called a high storm. Wind, maybe.
Exactly.
So Kellyanne is not putting up with that. You got to go 2 or higher before her Schnauzer is going to get involved. Hey, Martin from British Columbia, always checking in. And Charles from WRLR. Hey, the country is burning up in many parts. So, yeah, without AC, let's stand down for just a minute, Alan, and I'll get to Mesa, Arizona. I can imagine how hot it is there.
Yeah.
What did people do before air conditioning? And there are people, as we speak, that don't have it, but billions of people never had air conditioning because it wasn't invented.
Right.
Wasn't there to have. And it's only in its current penetration of central air is only about 50 years old. It's not that old.
Okay.
The central air, I'm not talking about the window units. Those were around for a while, but the central air conditioning unit is not that old. And that's why your Arizonas and your Texases and your Floridas were not well populated before that, because you couldn't stand the heat. Now, Alan, you asked Alan before the show, hey, what's the attendance like at Disney World lately? And he
I had heard that it's down. Yeah.
And then Alan said, because it's hot. And I said, well, it's July, it's Florida. And he said, no, it's hotter than usual in Florida. Right, Alan?
Yeah, it's definitely this summer of the 9 that I've been here has felt the most oppressive. There's no question about it. We even had a heat advisory about a week or so ago, and we never have heat advisories. I laugh because I'll see, Chicago news where they'll issue a heat advisory because it's 93 degrees, and 93 is pretty much average here. And our heat index temperatures have been pushing 120 this week, where the feels like, or the real feel, depending on which brand of index number they're giving us.
So Orlando's burning up, Mesa.
And let's not forget,
Austin.
though, like 50 years ago is when you'd look at a 30-year-old and they're what 60-year-olds look like today.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all different.
The
It's
sun,
very
they
different.
didn't wear sunscreen. They slept on the porch at night or on a fire escape to
Right. There are pictures.
my hallmark that actually came up in my feed this week is that I'm older now than Abe Vigoda was when he played in The Godfather.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, I love that stuff.
It's like, oh my God.
Oh, by the way, Alan, in the opening, you did those things that really trigger me. Well, we're 17 weeks away from Christmas.
Well, I told you beforehand why, Gary, and you voiced the voiceover that we'll use later. So
I know
that's what
okay.
resulted in the opening.
I know it's Christmas in July with a lot of people. They use it as a promotional tool. I understand, and Bettenhausen is doing that, and I'm not going to argue with their marketing. But it's happening where this is the creep. It's called creeping, where the holidays start to enter. And there's a listener in the queue, I believe it's Karen, who works at a store, and she sent a picture. They have Halloween stuff up in the store.
I didn't queue it up today, but I've got the picture that you sent. But I attended we'll show her picture first, and I'll tell you the rest of the story.
There it is.
Picture.
Right now in July. There it is.
So I attended a press conference that Disney invited me to attend that Home Depot was having, because Home Depot has a huge line of exclusive Disney-themed Halloween and Christmas inflatables and
the
animatronics.
nativity set with Mickey and Minnie giving birth to a little baby mouse.
That wasn't one of them, surprisingly enough. But
Sorry.
they have a 12-foot or 13-foot tall Jack Skellington animatronic, for example. That was the most impressive piece they showed. But Home Depot will be rolling out its full Halloween line any day if they haven't already. And they tell you to buy early, because if you don't, you can miss out on that.
Then I'll miss out. I can't get into Halloween right now. And here's the thing that's happening every year. Those figures are getting taller and taller. And I mentioned, I think last Christmas, when does baby Jesus stretch out to about 18 feet in a giant manger? Because that's going to happen.
Totally coming.
Oh my God. Okay, let me go back to the screen door.
I got to go back to the graphic.
I swear to you guys,
I got it.
No, you don't. You absolutely don't. No,
is it backward?
It's
no,
upside down.
I'm not really. I'm not this. I'm
Stop.
not this stupid.
One more.
It's still upside down, Gary.
180.
See, maybe I am.
There we are.
Oh God!
There is a setting, Gary, where I know you were talking on the show. I think it was today's show. You were talking about you see yourself backwards on the screen. It's not a mirror. There is a setting now here in StreamYard where you can change it so it's a mirror. Of course, everything will be backwards, but it'll be reflective.
I thought it was backwards already. So
look
really,
how smoothly we did the pencil handoff last week.
Yeah, that worked really well.
In reverse.
That was beautiful. The only thing that's backwards is apparently me. JL. Oh yeah, Okay, you can put all those. You can start putting them on the screen again, Alan, and I'll read the caption.
Well, I don't know where you're reading from, Gary. It's a long list.
I know it's JL. I can see JL at the top of my queue.
Manikowski?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Wherever you want to start, Alan, I'll play with it. Doesn't matter. Really, there's no.
Or lose.
Robert is a good friend of the show. Grab hold of your joystick when you have to go to instrument flight rules tonight. Too many in-flight cocktails are making for lazy flight visuals. Hazy, is that hazy? I don't have my glasses. I'm sorry.
Hazy flight visuals here in New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Idiot. Thank you. New Berlin, Wisconsin.
If anyone would like to volunteer to read the comments to Gary during the show, call 773-888-2156.
This is the Manhattan Project talking. This is in honor of Oppenheimer.
Nice.
This was named after the atomic bomb. Okay, and I know why now.
I didn't mention before. I got a ticket to see. I got a ticket to see it after the show. So sooner we're done, I'm heading over.
But Christopher Nolan, the director, this guy, everything he puts out is fantastic, and I just want to see how a man is sitting there and thinking, if I connect this wire with this wire, I can make a big mushroom cloud and have this field of energy go and just rip everything down.
As you pointed out, there was this weird metal object that floated up on a beach in Australia this week.
Yes.
And it does look
It looks
surprisingly like
right.
what they're hoisting up that tower.
Right, and that trailer, they show
yes.
that sphere they're hoisting it up into a little tower. That's it? That's what's going to blow up everything and have the shockwave? And I
Get under
love
your
that,
desk, kids. This is going to be fun.
That piece that's been around for many years where they have cameras on an A-bomb explosion, and they show the cloud and then the shockwave. And the one house goes this way and then rips apart this way. And I think they have animals and stuff that are just vaporized. I mean, and they had people from the military, because they didn't know the radiation factor, about 10, 15 miles away with sunglasses, with Ray-Bans, watching these tests in the desert.
The troops are out there when they were doing the tests in the ocean. And now, like as children, you'd watch this and you go, ooh, aren't we cool as a superpower? And now I'm thinking, how many freaking fish did they blow up that day? This is
really
crazy.
The people that died because we were just screwing around, we didn't know, and they were guinea pigs in so many ways. The military did this over and over again with humans.
But on the other hand, they do tell us that had the war been allowed to drag out, it would have been millions more. So
okay, all right,
that's
the
we're going to be okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's the
I just want to put it out there.
We killed 200,000 people, but we would have killed 1 million. So this was good. And that's the way they
stick on
said
a
it too.
pig that was in
Dr.
that
Milt
picture.
Rosenberg will be joining us in the next hour with a whole host of counterfactuals.
Dr. Milt Rosenberg joining us later. And tonight he'll be talking to the mayor of Israel. And this was a man on a radio station we worked at, and the guy was brilliant and well into his 90s and doing a radio show. And I sat in with him, and no notes, everything was in his head, and he made it flow like he was 30 years old. Great
appealing
guy.
to college kids. And the last thing he asked Garry Meier was
what direct quote, and it didn't occur to any of us that this was our last day. It was just all kismet. Where finished the show, he opens the door of the studio, looks at me, and he goes, "What the fuck are they doing to this radio station?" And then I get home, and 3 hours later, an email. We no longer need your services because, damn it, you're too successful, and we don't want that. Okay, so that's that. Hey, Lamont, yeah, I get it, Goofy. I really get it. Lamont, I saw a text from Lamont, and he said that he reposted a Facebook post that I did of a woman in Texas who put a loaf of bread in her mailbox and baked the loaf of bread.
Right.
He reposted it, and he said that Facebook flagged him because
it was
they said
misinformation.
It's misinformation about science and baking. Are you kidding me? Is that where Mark Zuckerberg's level is set now? Well, we don't want to have science and baking confused. It's a joke. It's hot, and she put a loaf of bread in her mailbox. I didn't get flagged for that one, but I've got other flags from them.
So are they worried that people will try to feed their families by baking bread in mailboxes? I mean, in the same way people would fry eggs in parking lots and stuff like that.
Right.
We knew that this was jinky.
Yeah, I'm not going to be baking my bread in my mailbox. Don't worry about it. But Mark is on call. He's like the Navy. He's always on duty.
Oh, he is.
And looking for us people that are creating trouble.
Except when he's, like getting toned and doing some jujitsu. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, right. Nice.
You're a
t-shirt,
sexy
Mark.
devil, aren't you?
Right.
Somebody pointed out to me this week, it shows just how little work he actually does in a day that he can spend that much time getting ripped and doing jujitsu. So he's an idea man, but then he dumps it in other people's laps and makes them do all the heavy lifting.
Right. He opens his closet and there are 50 gray t-shirts. Which one do I want to wear today? Which gray t-shirt do I want to wear today? I don't know. Okay. So that's what has come over from the listeners as far as different things they have seen over the past few days. And let me go back to some of the comments. Terry says, "I can't believe Milt used the F word." Yeah, I'd like hearing that too from Milt, because if you listen to him, he was very bright, and his vocabulary, of course, was high line.
was very erudite. Yes.
Right. And that's the way you would hear him. And then to hear him drop the F-bomb was just magic. And I felt so good because it was my last day there and I got it.
Well, and that's the proper use of English, is when you can use the F-bomb so sparingly that all of us to this very day, I mean, it was indelible because it was just
a perfect
so
ending.
perfect. Oh my gosh.
Perfect ending. And I didn't feel alone then. When he said it, I thought, well, this is a very accomplished broadcaster, teacher, academic, and he knows it. So I'm not alone.
He was a scholar, for God's
scholar. Yes. Okay. Dale is from Wheatfield, Indiana. And he has a cold one. I guess just the whole bottom part of the country is on fire, right? It's not flame on fire, but hot. And the current blog post, Leslie, is this: top 10 things overheard at Death Valley from people who visited on the hottest day at Death Valley on record. That's the current blog post.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
That is brilliant.
I couldn't resist. I got to fall into that.
They're expecting temperatures to top 55, because I love reading the foreign press. 55 degrees Celsius. So I had to go look that up. It's 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And people are flocking there to understand what heat feels like.
Really? It's the equivalent of the reporter in the hurricane winds.
Exactly.
I think I can figure it out.
Okay. These are the people who stand on the pier when the waves are, when the hurricane is coming in and go, I want to see what it's like.
But the heat doesn't make for a good visual. There's no graphic I can put on the screen. Your visual is going to be what? People passing out? That's
pretty much.
Yes. Hey, do you want to hear the screenplay I'm working on for the $1 billion Powerball winner?
Wait, is this after you finish the screenplay for Ocean Gate that
I'm
starts
still
with
on
the
Ocean Gate,
Rubik's Cube,
right?
On the bottom of the ocean.
Once I get the opening, everything just falls into place. Once I figure that out, okay,
you're all about what they call the elevator pitch. That's that you get a producer in an elevator. You have 30 seconds. Go.
Right. All right. Judd Apatow. Here's how it opens. It's a shot of the Powerball numbers being drawn. You know, they have that moment on TV at 10, 11, whatever time where they pull the numbers. Okay. That's the opening. Dissolve into the ticket with those numbers on the floor of a cardboard box because the ticket was sold in LA 2 blocks from Skid Row. I'm assuming a homeless person bought the ticket with change that they bummed off somebody. This is the way I'm working it. It could be nothing of that nature, but here's how I'm working it right now.
It's a work in progress. Okay.
Yes, dissolves to that ticket on the cardboard floor. The occupant of the cardboard box is reaching into a bag of fentanyl and taking a fentanyl and then passes out, and the bag of fentanyl falls on the lottery ticket. And then I'm working from that. But that's the opening.
Wow. You truly are workshopping this thing.
Oh, I don't miss much.
On the other hand,
you're making a remake of Waking Ned Devine here. That's what I'm hearing.
Is it?
It's a remake of Waking Ned Devine. Don't you remember that movie?
I know. I don't.
About 1990s, mid 90s, a little bit later. A little Irish community, little old man wins the Irish sweepstakes and dies. And the whole community, apparently he needed to claim the ticket, and the whole community tries to cover it up so that they can claim the winnings. The indelible image from the movie was the scene where one of the really old guys gets on the moped naked and ends up with the black streak of mud up and down his body from trying to run from the authorities at some point.
Okay, I never saw it.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, hilarious. I didn't tell you how it turned out. Just the naked guy.
Patty says it was a homeless woman who won.
Okay, I'm going to address this because I talked to a friend of mine in Los Angeles about an hour ago, and he said he's watching the local news, and as the cameras are there doing what they do with the store owner who's going to get $1 million, a woman walked in to the store while the cameras are rolling and said, "I can't believe I won $1 billion," and walked out. Probably not the winner.
Okay.
But that's what they're saying, and that's what she's talking about. Yeah. So there you have it. I want a homeless person to win it because that would be I could just see this person. It could be a woman, but I'm thinking man with a very scruffy beard, dirty clothes. I can't believe I won. And then he's Beverly Hillbillies, like where he goes and lives in a mansion in Bel Air, and that's a movie. That's Hollywood all over the place.
Well, except that it can't be written right now because there's a strike going on.
Well,
so we'll have to table it until we get some more things going. Or you find somebody like an independent producer who's going to make your film for you.
I don't even know if we should be working. I'm part of the union. I don't know how this works, but I haven't been flagged or called a scab, so I'm going with it.
I got an email because I'm what they say they call on withdrawal. I'm not doing union work, so I'm just kind of like in a limbo. But there was an email that went out, and it explained why they're walking out and what the union is asking for versus what the producers or these big studios and companies are offering. And yeah, you kind of get it, but there was like in a sense of brotherhood, put on your after SAG t-shirts and get out there. And I'm like, I never got the t-shirt. Did you ever get the t-shirt?
No.
Nobody ever sent me. I only get t-shirts from Matt. Doggy boy.
Yeah, listener Matt, he'll make one up for you. I'm sure by Sunday you're going to have a SAG after a t-shirt, or how about a GarrForce t-shirt?
There you go. That's even better.
You can support us. There you go. Show your support for the show. All right. Okay, so here we are in the program, and the Wisconsin reporter Ryan, he's doing family stuff tonight. So he said if he arrives at his destination with his family.
Good family stuff. Yeah, I mean,
good family stuff.
Happy, slappy vacation stuff.
Right. It's not bowling. He's part of it, which is unusual because usually on Fridays, his wife and son go bowling and he sits at home and does this. But they invited him out and he's partaking in that. But he did record his Wisconsin report. We'll see that in just a few minutes. All right. And do we have any other photos, Alan, that I sent? We're clean on those right now.
That's just the Halloween one this week. Although I did load, after we were talking about the Purple Hotel last week, which I showed the picture of. I did load one of the pictures I took when I was up in Chicagoland a few weeks ago of the humongous building they built. This is actually looking from the far end, like from the perspective of the bank. That's a bank on the left. This is looking in the other direction back at the huge building they built. Yeah.
That was where the Purple Hotel in what area of Chicago?
It's Lincolnwood. Yeah.
Lincolnwood, Illinois.
It's Lincoln and Toohey Avenues.
In Chicago. And
Leslie and Tim spent their wedding night.
Not there. The hotel where
at the hotel, the Purple Hotel that's gone.
You showed a brick from that. You have a brick as a little memento.
I do. Somebody bought it and they had purple bags and people, everybody who spent one of those special nights there wanted that piece of history, and I have it. So it was at the funeral home with us. Okay, maybe not the most appropriate use of a brick, but what the hell? Hey, before we get...
I didn't know that. You didn't tell us that before. You brought the brick to the funeral home.
The other thing I brought to the funeral home, and there was some question about it, is a form that they made when Tim underwent brain radiation. They do this amazing thing where they create this form of your face so that they can screw you down to the table and make sure that the radiation hits you in the perfect spot every time. But when you hold it up sideways, it is the perfect profile of the person that it was created for. And I brought that with, and some people were like, that's kind of creepy, but I'm not apologizing for anything I did.
No, there's no apology.
Well, and Tim always thought
that right forever.
Well, and here's my husband, the maker, was always like, I'm going to make a lamp or something out of that. He always planned on somehow creating something super cool out of it. Didn't get a chance. Hey, before we go any further, I should also, so many really beautiful thoughts and gifts and acknowledgments of my husband, who we lost this month. I have to thank the Mascows Mike and his wife, Sue, they're planting trees in Tim's honor. Mary from Posen sent me these beautiful wind chimes. And it says, while it's raging storm or gentle breeze, feel the wind and think of me. Isn't that just the prettiest sentiment?
Nice.
So all of you, thank you. And the ones who, all of you texted and just sent messages of support. Thank you so much. It's really meant a lot.
All right. Yes,
so enough
we have
with
great viewers and listeners.
We do. We absolutely do.
Okay.
Wisconsin?
Yes, we're going to do that. You want to preview what you're giving away a little later?
Oh, I can. I should.
Might as well get that going.
So we do have some Oh Yes swag. It's an Oh Yes tank top, and there's still plenty of time to wear it, even though we're 100 and something days away from Christmas or whatever you want to do.
Okay, there was another comment in the listener section of, hey, I'm in St. Louis and I've noticed the sun is rising later and setting earlier, and I'm, oh my God, this is the part of the year where I start to get real
jittery,
creeped out and freaked out, because I don't like what's happening in the next 30 to 60 days where I have to, I'm in denial now, but then I start seeing the football teams practicing and all that nonsense. That's fall to me. That's not summer. And I will not acknowledge the earlier setting of the sun until, I don't know, October.
I'm going to fight you on this one this year, Gary. It needs to cool off. We need to cool off down here.
I did tell you to move to Orlando, Ellen.
There you go.
It was great in February.
And Halloween, we'll talk about Halloween. I don't know when. Beginning of October, I think, is a great time to start talking about Halloween. Don't you?
This didn't always happen, did it? Where the seasons were pushed on us months in advance. I'm traditional in that Christmas was the day after Thanksgiving. Then you started to ramp up, right? That's long gone.
Live in the moment. I mean, if you're always looking forward, you forget to live in today.
Well, I
enjoy today.
I have no desire to look at Christmas or Halloween decorations.
No.
When it's blazing hot.
So put on a bitchin' tank top from our friends at Oh Yes, our house band, and an Oh Yes bracelet. Of course, it wouldn't be a gift bag without a wine condom and a ball liquor.
Right.
We also have some cool, bendables from Tracy in Wisconsin. Right. Oh, and thank you for the coffee cakes. They are awesome. A box of cheesy jokes and more fun stuff. A gum shocker. Oh, golly. I mean, as a kid, didn't you just live for these sort
all those
of things?
Gag gifts,
those joy buzzers. And your very own picture frame.
No,
and if you don't have friends, there are these three young ladies who you can pass off as
just
your
keep
pals.
that picture in there. Yeah,
there you go.
Look at, I got diverse friendships.
There you go.
Tracy sent me some Kringle too, the raspberry Kringle. Thank you, Tracy.
So
and
good.
I've been using that aluminum ice cube tray that she sent months ago a lot. Cracking that thing, filling the glass, filling the thing back up. Oh.
So you feel like Brad Pitt and
I like
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's the way ice should be served. You hear that crack? That's ice, not a plastic
wait, and one more thing, and an array of reusable temporary tattoo, or not reusable, but temporary tattoos, so you don't have to go and get pins.
The condom is reusable. The tattoos are not. Here's what I'm going to suggest as a phrase that pays. How about this? Hashtag purple brick.
Ooh.
Hashtag purple brick.
You know, since it's your show, it's right there, like on the sign behind you. I think that's a great idea.
Purple brick. Since it came up again, seems right. Put that in the queue if you want to try to win the prizes, and then Alan will hit the button in a little while and determine the winner. If you have won recently, please let somebody else win. How about that?
And seriously, Greg, I mean, are you being facetious? A dollar store picture frame? I think a lot of people would appreciate it. And if you don't, then Don't
Yeah,
join
geez,
the
then
queue.
don't enter. My God, we're just trying to
Oh,
have a good
hashtag
time
pass.
here.
Oh, aren't you a poopy pants? And I will not recognize you again because of that.
Wow.
So you
Okay,
guys
we'll
want me to
talk
hit the
about
ban button? I
Kiev.
can hit the ban button if you want.
We
Nah,
don't have to do that yet,
I
but
think he's
we
been
can,
properly shamed.
if you want to talk about Kiev and all the other bullshit going on, we can do that too. I don't want to. Thank you.
Oh, he's just kidding. Okay, Greg. Then
He's just kidding.
you're welcome
That's what
back. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Let's pay homage to the sponsors and then listen to Ryan's Wisconsin report. First up is Bettenhausen.
Ho, ho, ho! It's Christmas in July at Bettenhausen Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Tinley Park. Save big during the Make This the Summer sales event and get 10% off MSRP on a new Jeep Compass, Renegade, or Cherokee. Get $4,000 total cash on a new Dodge Durango. Come to Bettenhausen and get 10% off MSRP on a new Ram Bighorn. Hurry in! Christmas in July absolutely ends July 31st. Your best buying experience starts now at BettenhausenCDJR.com.
Okay, we had our Pacifica serviced at Bettenhausen this past week, and my mother-in-law got in the car today and said, "Oh my God, this car looks brand new." They did a detailing, and it really. When I said this on the show
You did.
a couple days ago, I got in the car and I thought, "Oh my God, they took the windshield out. It's so clean. The windows are so clean. I don't think there's any glass in this thing."
How do they do it?
Yeah.
Scott,
Yep.
it's purple brick singular, or else you're not going to be part of the drawing. And Greg, don't worry about it. You're fine.
All right, David Hochberg, he will help you out on a mortgage or refi or any of that stuff that you need to know when you're buying or refinancing. And he's been doing this a long time, so he knows every little bit of how to maneuver through the high rates. And he'll tell you what your credit score should be so you can have a lower payment. Your nut every week or month. What's your nut? What's your monthly nut? I always heard that. What's your monthly nut? Well, I grew up in the days of putting 20% down. That's gone. I don't think you have to put 20% down anymore, but it was good to have that discipline. But he knows what you should put down, and those are the numbers right there. Free consultation when you call. David Hochberg. All right. Oh, we have to talk about the July entry into the ProjectCanineHero.org calendar. All the dogs featured on this year's calendar are no longer with us. And Jason Johnson is paying homage to those dogs with his calendar. Please purchase the calendar if you can, because, and there's the dog featured in July. Wallatin?
Or is that V. Valentin? I think it's Vivi, isn't it?
There's two V's. There's two V's at the start of that.
V. Valentin.
Is it two V's? Yeah. Valentin?
Yep.
There you go. You got to say it that way. Valentin.
Well, what Valentin did, and that
honorably served in the United States Coast Guard as an explosion detection canine from 2011 to 2019. The dog was assigned to maritime counterterrorism. There we go. There's my eyesight working. Counterterrorism operations where he conducted explosive detection canine sweeps for the Super Bowl, heads of state, and high-ranking delegates. The dog was named after Santos Valentin Jr., who was an NYPD Emergency Services Unit officer that was tragically killed during the terrorist attacks of 9/11. The dog passed away July 15th, 2021.
Yes, Jason takes these dogs that have retired from the TSA and police departments and puts them in his sanctuary in Tennessee. And some are adopted, some are not. But Jason takes care of them for the rest of their lives. Some of these dogs retire early in their life. And without this program, these dogs will go to a shelter. And if they're not adopted, you know what happens. He's doing God's work here. These dogs, my God, they do stuff that humans cannot do and save our lives in a lot of cases by sniffing out explosives, say, that are trying to get onto an airplane. How about that? So if you can support Project Canine Hero, Jason sells a lot of different things, and anything you buy helps his sanctuary in Tennessee. All right, so.
Hey, Scott, hashtag purple brick, no spaces. Same thing for you, Karen, unless you're not playing. But there you go. The caps don't matter so much as no spaces, hashtag purple brick. We want all of you to get a chance to play.
All right. I think we're ready for some, I'm ready and ready for some Wisconsin report.
Hey, Alan, is there going to be any cows in this week's video?
Okay, Ryan.
We're asking a lot of Alan.
It's Wisconsin, yeah, hey.
Hey, everybody, it's Ryan from Wisconsin. If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend and like the smell of death, head over to the Mitchell Park Domes. For 24 to 36 hours starting on Friday, their big corpse flower will be blooming. Everybody stops by to get a good scent of ripe roadkill before the flower wilts and it's all over for another year. If corpse, smells, and death isn't your forte, head into Milwaukee where there's an art installation. It's an international art installation of giant bubbles. They're made out of diachoric film. Not really sure what that is, but you can walk inside of them and feel like you're in the Willy Wonka movie where the girl goes inside the giant bubble and floats to the top. It's only around this weekend, and it's an international exhibit that travels around the world. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll all talk soon.
Holstein.
Ryan is really dressed for the season.
He truly is.
Yes,
you know,
he is.
Maybe
He's made the show totally casual, Gary. Totally
That's right.
casual.
Casual Fridays. That's the way it should
in
have
another
stayed.
year, Mr. Muir is going to stand up from behind that desk, and he's going to be wearing some shorty shorts right there.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, David.
What kind of person goes to smell a very foul odor, makes a special trip? Is it the same type of person that goes to Death Valley on the hottest day on record? What kind of person does this?
Well, don't you always love the relative who said, "Gee, this food smells or tastes awful. Here, try it."
Yeah.
Don't you have relatives like that? I mean, I certainly do.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you for selling it. No, I'll pass.
But so many botanic
things.
gardens and all these places try to have one of these corpse flowers on hand for just that reason. People will stand in line for 24 hours to maybe catch a whiff of how awful things can be.
Right.
I know. Go to an industrial area. It's just as bad.
Karen says it's hot out. How hot is it? Ryan has shorts on today. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I don't think he's ever had shorts on for the report before.
I don't think so. Usually, yeah.
Of course, if you look real carefully, I had to digitally add shoes because the video cuts off at his shins.
He didn't have shoes on either?
Well, I couldn't tell because he positioned the camera such that I couldn't see below his shins.
All right.
But I had him fly off the screen Willy Wonka style. Yes,
you did. Boy, I'll tell you, the special effects on this show, it rivals Oppenheimer in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Yes,
somehow I don't believe that. I think their budget is much, much better.
You think? Oh, roasted. Wait a minute. Alan, I paid you a compliment right before we went on the air. Alan has been retired for 9 years?
Yeah, about 9 years.
Yeah, and how old are you?
55.
Okay. This man knows how to make investments. Yeah, this is a smart man right here. And I'm happy to have him in my group here doing this because
the rest of us are doing it all wrong.
Right. I wish I was hanging around with Alan about 10 years ago because he knew what was going on in the stock market. That's for sure.
Oh, Lordy.
Jesus. All right. Okay. So Leslie's got stories.
I do. Another squatter story for you, this time out of California, where a man has been charged with taking over a couple's home in South San Francisco while they were on vacation. Police were called when the house sitter the couple hired arrived to the home to find 43-year-old Levi Smith on site, claiming to be the rightful owner of the home. It was quickly determined that Mr. Smith did not belong. So the house sitter called the couple whose home it was, and they called police. As soon as police arrived, Mr. Smith then pulled a knife on responding officers. A 2-hour standoff followed. The perp was eventually taken into custody. In his wake, he left thousands of dollars worth of damage. Okay, and here's where this story falls apart. No one says what happened to the pets that this house sitter / pet sitter was coming to care for.
Oh, I'd like to know about that. And we have had a number of these stories over the weeks, and I have said the legal way to go about getting these mopes out of your house is
I have text in front of my
tape.
face right now, so I can't see it, but I want to see when Garry actually does this.
And you need to know a guy.
Okay. Okay. Now I got to
That's
see.
the way you handle this.
There you go.
Somebody's got to address this because it's happening more and more. And the homeowner is pretty much not.
They're behind the eight ball. Yeah,
right.
Always. They have to prove, and it takes weeks. And in the meantime,
and in the
some
meantime, these people
schmuck
are ruining the place.
Yeah.
And that's wrong on so many levels. And if some politician addresses this, they're gonna win. If they're not already in office, they will be.
This
right, the Crooked Nose Act. I got a guy.
Yeah. I got a guy.
Yeah.
The marketing for this Barbie movie has been monumental, to say the least, with one of the most interesting marketing collaborations taking place in Brazil. That's where the filmmakers and Burger King teamed up to create a special Barbie meal. In addition to a pink milkshake topped with a frosted pink donut, the meal features Ken potatoes, which are nothing more than regular old French fries, and then the pièce de résistance, a cheeseburger topped with a special pink sauce. And nobody who has seen this burger can think of anything except what looks like a heap and helping of Pepto-Bismol right on top.
Oh, pink. I don't know if that's a good food coloring.
Once
As George Carlin always said, you ever see blue food? There's no blue food.
Oh my God. I thought of the exact same thing. And unless you're living on Tatooine with a young Luke Skywalker, no, there shouldn't be any blue food. Well, looky who's here.
Hey there.
That's what happens when you log in with your admin credits, Ryan. You just pop right into the show live.
Hey,
I've done it myself when I've not been around.
Just wanted to say hello. We stopped of course, at a bowling alley for dinner and a little bit of bowling here in Door County. Just got off the highway.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Ryan apparently says is in Door County, and all I know about Door County in my years of living in Illinois, whenever anybody said they're going to Door County, it was always like 9 hours from wherever they were. It seems like it was somewhere on the other side of the planet. It's where Jesus left it's where Jesus left his slippers, and whatever that means to you in distance, that's a long way away. Now, how long is the drive for you?
It's about 3 hours from from Milwaukee.
What is it? What is the fascination with this area?
I don't know. It's okay. You get come up here for some cherries. Go to Al Johnson's, which has the goats on the roof that are grazing on the roof. That's always a attraction.
And isn't there a fish boil? Isn't the whole thing about like people throwing fish and potatoes in boiling water? And
yes, we don't enjoy the fish boil, so we'll. And we're going kayaking. We're going kayaking tomorrow through a cave. There's a cave along the peninsula, so we're going kayaking tomorrow. So,
okay, kayaking where you're 2 inches above the water, and that for that reason I'm out. There's no way I want to be 2 inches above the water.
And we've got to see if Hank's with me or Jamie. So we're still figuring out who gets the short straw for the double kayak. So that'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
but in the meantime, in typical fashion, they're inside a bowling alley and you're not. That's
yeah.
Just
I mean,
awesome.
It's Friday. They have to be in a bowling alley. It's their home base. We have to touch a bowling alley every Friday, otherwise we're not having it.
Oh my God.
And we just lost him.
All right, there's Ryan on the road.
Oh.
I got to tell you.
Don't worry, he'll pop back in again.
Yeah, he'll
what
just
a
pop
dude.
in. Here's an Americana moment, I think. My wife and I were doing a bit of a road trip recently, and we're driving the Pacifica and going down the interstate, and we went into a rest stop, and she got some Burger King fries and 2 fountain drink Cokes. And I swear to God, I thought it was, and we're driving along our fine country, eating the fries, drinking the soda fountain Coke, listening to Sirius XM and the bad DJs. That's America.
Okay. So with that, you maybe don't want to hear my next story. But once again, folks, we don't pre-plan this. Some of this just happens.
Okay, what happened?
Speaking of Burger King, a Burger King employee in South Carolina is under arrest for serving patrons French fries recovered from a garbage can.
Oops.
According to police, witnesses spotted 39-year-old Christine Major taking fries out of the trash, tossing them into the hopper where the fresh fries are generally put, mixing those fresh fries with the ones from the garbage all together, and then serving them to customers. Turns out that tampering with food like that is a felony. Hence, this woman is looking at a sentence of up to 20 years behind bars.
Good. We were not in the Carolinas, so I feel good about that. These
so you can
fries
still
were
enjoy.
delicious, though. I have to.
Yay!
The Coke from the fountain. Oh my
It's
God!
that-
And beautiful summer day. How that works on your psyche.
So someone recently just bought me like an order of fries. It's like, because I haven't quite had the appetite I might have had otherwise. And it's like, maybe an order of fries. Isn't it funny that just a Coke and fries
I know.
is
Really,
it's heavenly?
it just hit the spot. And if you need a
Damn.
spot to hit it with that.
Pretty
And some
simple.
booze.
And what?
Booze.
Oh, booze. Okay. And finally, a couple in Canada have embarked on a hunger strike. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm 2.5
What's wrong?
glasses in now. I
Okay.
just said hunger strike.
Hunger.
Let's start again. A couple in Canada have embarked on a hunger strike to protest pickleball. Rajneesh and Harpreet Dhawan have had it with the sounds of shoes squeaking, balls bouncing, and paddles connecting from the public pickleball courts adjacent to their home. Says Rajneesh, "We are being subjected to physical, mental, emotional, and psychological abuse, making us feel like second-class citizens of this country." The Dhawans have taken their concerns to the local park commission, but apparently to no avail. So now they say they are willing to starve themselves to death in order to fight what they see as a grave injustice.
Where is this?
This is in Canada, but this is all about pickleball. Gary, have you ever played
Wait a minute.
pickleball?
I know this is going to sound very 1955. I heard the names. They aren't, I'm guessing, from Canada originally.
I'm thinking probably not.
Yes. They're treated like second-class citizens. They're not native Canadians, I'm thinking. I could be wrong.
No matter where you go, you're going to be treated like a second-class citizen, is pretty much what you're saying here.
Pickleball is huge. Get used to it. It's everywhere. It's huge.
So with that, I was hoping to pull like an acceptable sound of pickleball that we could share with you, but go ahead. This is YouTube. You can find the sound of pickleball. On top of that, there are these giant pickleball tournaments taking place all over.
Yep.
And there's a whole, like, I started looking into the rules, and there's, you can't play a fly ball out of the kitchen, and the kitchen is that front. Oh my God.
Okay. I've never
so
played,
you apparently
but I
have
know
never
people
played.
who are rabid.
Neither have I.
Ball, I'm a picket baller where I go. I picket ballers.
Ballers. Exactly.
Okay, Scott said to finish it. I'm going to finish it.
Okay.
That's
Did
the
you
end
get
of it.
the
And there's
cherries?
my Luxardo cherry with
Uh-oh.
my name on it.
Yum, yum.
Bingo. Splash down. All right. I'm feeling pretty good right about now. Oh, yeah. By the way, the speed limit on the interstate seems to be 70. And at least where we were, that's
right
doable.
lane.
70.
Yeah.
No, but 70, I can, I can do that. That's moving.
Sure.
55, not so much. 70, I can play with that.
110?
110 what? Temperature?
That's what a lot of the other people are still doing out there on the internet.
70 I can work with. I can get someplace. Oh, there it is. Top of the hour. We're going to break for news, traffic, weather, sports, and a lot of other shit you don't need, and be back in about 15 minutes.
Oh, we have to do the drawing. We have to do the drawing.
We're going to do the drawing. Big fun bag prize package for hashtag Purple Bricks. Alan, are you ready to hit the button?
Sure thing. Ready?
Here we go.
Purple brick, purple brick.
Say hello to somebody. I know you do.
All of you.
Is that it?
Hey,
Is that it? Oh, no. Christina W. Alan, tell her what she needs to do.
Christina, email Garry Meier Show at GarryMeier.com or text 773-888-2157. Regular charges apply, with your name and address so that Leslie can get those out in the United States Postal Service that serves your dwelling or office or other location.
I will forward that to Leslie when I get it, Christina.
And with that, Patty from last week, sorry. I have been remiss in getting everything out. It's been kind of wackadoo, but I'm
that's an excuse. My husband passed away. That's an excuse, Leslie? That's just wrong.
Well, I'm just doing what I can do, you guys.
I don't think
these
anybody's
days,
going to.
at least I'm getting out of bed, and I've stopped doing like the hemorrhage crying morning and evening, which is when it sucks the worst, just so you guys know.
Yeah. Well,
and
we're
then
all
you
here
drink.
for you. And that is also here for you, John Barleycorn and his friends.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're good. We're good. All right. That's it for this week. Thank you for watching back on Monday. And I hope you enjoy the music we've been playing. That song that we played on the T show today was triggered by listening to Sirius XM. And it's one of my favorite songs. I hadn't heard it in a while. I was thinking, what song could I play? And that Motherlode song, When I Die, came on. I love that song. I believe, according to Matt, listener Matt, who makes your T-shirts, that's a one-hit wonder group from Canada.
Huh.
There they are. You're like Zuckerberg, but your T-shirts are all different when you open the closet.
They truly are.
That's the difference, yeah.
And, oh, Lordy,
All right,
there's so many of them now.
Here's the cannoli coming down the aisle. Please take it. It's delicious. Leslie, what about the schnauzer for this weekend?
You know what? Take your schnauzer to Door County because you might run into Ryan and his family. But I would say be careful around the fish boil because that steam can hurt.
Well, if you're Gwyneth Paltrow, she knows how to work it.
Well, yeah.
Green the green, gear is down, flaps are down. America's podcast, the voice of the globe, has landed.
And that's it for all the news and nonsense here at the GarrForce.
If you like that, I got other stuff I think you're going to like. This is the GarrForce.
Thanks for streaming. Like, subscribe, and be kind. But no need to rewind. It sure would be terrific if you subscribe to the GarrForce Live YouTube channel.
More eyeballs.
If you are watching this show recorded, that button is right here. And if you'd like to look at past episodes, try that button.
Boom. Shakalaka.
That's it.